So you probably clicked on this video because you're wondering what these 7 truths are about not being a man yet. Don't worry. In this video, we'll go through these 7 truths. And after you watch, I want you to process everything I've said and take action. Let's not waste any time and let's get right into it. Truth 1. You're avoiding pain. Believe it or not, pain is a beautiful thing, and this is a secret that most people spend their whole life not knowing. Sometimes some things are perceived as bad but are actually good, and some other things seem amazing, but in reality, they're quite poisonous. For example, there is pleasure in laying on your back all day and eating pizza, but if we do that long enough, then we end up fat and unhealthy. Therefore, we get depressed and lazy, which leads to us being unmotivated, physically and mentally weak, and also broke. Like broke. Not to mention that real high-value women will avoid you like they're running for their dear lives. As simple as this theory sounds, the hard part is actually taking action. When the alarm beeps at 6 a.m., we should be embracing the pain and getting up to start our day early. When we open the fridge, we should embrace the pain of eating these tasteless healthy foods instead of the delicious pudding. When we wake up, we should embrace the pain of starting the day with the hardest tasks, such as eating right and finishing a crazy training session. That way, the rest of the day will feel easier. And long work hours seem not that bad after all. The beginning of the journey to turn yourself from a boy into a man is simply learning to embrace the pain and learning to like doing hard things. And only that way you will be mentally strong enough to conquer anything that gets in your way like a real man. Truth 2. You lack purpose. Some people live on this earth running around like zombies and not knowing their purpose in this life. When it comes to the losers category, there is actually more than one kind of them, and sadly, you may be one of them. To get out of that loser list, you first need to call yourself out on your bullshit and locate where the real problem is. Then, and only then, you will be able to embrace the pain that I elaborated on in the first step. There is a kind of losers that lack purpose, and there are losers that lack motivation, and there are losers that lack both motivation and purpose. The thing is that you should find your purpose and create a pain-embracing discipline, because motivation is only a small boost that comes from time to time, and it's never sufficient. If you want to be big and strong, you have to have strong reasons why you genuinely want that thing. Same as if you want to be smart and charismatic. You need to have a burning desire for the things you want. And in fact, you shouldn't just want them. You actually should need them like you need air. When it gets really hard and painful to live without those things you want, that's when you are going to be able to do everything in your power to get them. Truth 3. You're afraid of vulnerability. True strength is in embracing vulnerability. When you hide your vulnerability, you're not protecting yourself. You're isolating yourself. You're building walls that keep others out, but also keep you trapped inside. You become a prisoner of your own fear, disconnected from those around you, unable to form deep, meaningful connections. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to go cry at your girlfriend or tell your friends that you're shitting your pants when somebody is about to jump you. I'm talking about creating a sense of vulnerability, just enough that you lower people's guards. Exactly. Use vulnerability as your weapon. This means that you should let others believe that you are not as dangerous as they see you. And that way they will get cocky and underestimate you just to find out the hard that you're the most dangerous human being they ever came across. Think of it this way. If they know you have a bulletproof vest and a bulletproof car, then the enemy will try to poison you. Or if they know you have a decade's experience in martial arts and you carry a gun, then nobody is going to try to fight you. Instead, they will shoot you behind your back while you are enjoying your iced cafe with your girlfriend. I took these extreme examples just to help you understand that the stronger you appear, the harder the enemy will attack. So when you are strong, appear weak. Crack a joke from time to time. Show people your workout routines and give them a helping hand. Be nice to your neighbors and loving to your wife. I'm not telling you to be a nice guy. I'm telling you to appear normal. Because trust me, if you are going to do steps 1 and 2 successfully, then you will be anything but normal. You will be a force to be reckoned with, and people will start noticing. That's why you need to act vulnerable, so that you don't let your pride and ego combined with people's fear be your downfall. So in the first 3 steps, you learned that pain is a good thing. You learned that purpose needs to be clarified in order for you to be an absolute machine of a man. You also learned to show fake chinks on your armor in order to be a few steps ahead of your enemies. Now let me tell you these 4 last devils that you need to choke in order to become the man you need to be. Truth 4. You're letting others define you. Some people try to define you by looking down on you. Some other people try to make you the smaller guy, and some others basically just try to control you like a puppet. When people tell you you can't do something, it's them telling you their own limits. They can't possibly know your personal limits, so show them smarty pants how great you can be. But until you do that, you ain't gotta tell them shit. Just act like what they are saying is making sense, and they were right, while you go and do your own shit. I highly recommend you read the book The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Just like the title of the book, it explains the real secret that all of the rich and famous have used throughout the years. We also made a summary of it, and you can find it on our website. Both the link to the book and the link to our summary are down in the description. It explains how basically the universe is like a lamp genie, and everything you ask from it can be given. Whether you want a stronger body, a deeper voice, more money, or just a better life in general, there is a way to get it through the powers of the universe. Let me show you some proof.
How do you do that? How do you predict these
if
things?
you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality.
My sister, when I was a young kid at around 15 years of age, unsure where I was going, came to me with a book, The Secret, and preaching the law of attraction. And I was like, stop, get away from me, I'm only a young kid, I didn't care about that, I wanted to just go and play, you know, I wasn't interested, I was almost laughing at it. But then she kept on me with it, and I eventually watched a movie on it and read some books on it, and then it started to resonate with me, like, to keep positive and have belief in where you're going, and you're able to, you can almost visually create your entire world. No, not almost, you actually can.
Yes.
You can. And then I was like, I'm going to do that, and I will do that. And then that's when I began to practice it.
He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. And you can call it naivete, you can call it arrogance. Barack Obama called it the audacity of hope. The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent magic, right? That you're in a universe and 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 only equals 4 if you accept that 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 is going to be what I want it to be, you know. And there's a redemptive power that making a choice has, you know, rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like, it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know. So for me, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, and I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create if I can put my head on it right, study it, learn the patterns, and you know, it's hard to put into words, some real metaphysical, esoteric nonsense, but I feel very strongly that we are who we choose to be.
Now that you know I'm not talking BS, you can go and find the books down in my description and in the pinned comment in the comment section too, so that you learn the exact strategies on how to use these methods. Why did I tell you that in step 4? Well, if you let people tell you who you are, then you will never be able to tell yourself or the universe who you really are. Truth 5. You're addicted to comfort. Give a weak man good food, a good place to live and good sex, and watch him throw all his dreams out the window. In most of the stories and movies we grew up with, it's basically the same thing every time. We see how the hero of the story is traveling to conquer something, and along the way, he gets stuck and gets forgetful in a place where they serve him food and women. Do you think that's a coincidence? The comfort zone is a big trap of the Matrix, and it defeats the best of us. This step is also tied with the first step, where I talked about embracing pain instead of comfort. You should always seek the hardest battles, and before you know it, you're a big, strong man who's smart, brave, and rich with a lot of great stories to tell and battle scars to show. Or maybe you just want to chill today by your soft pillows. It's all right. If it wasn't for weak men like this, strong men wouldn't look so awesome. So thank you. Truth 6. You're not taking responsibility. The 6th reason why you are soft as baby shit is this. You always expect somebody else to be the hero. You always blame other people for not helping you. You're always angry because other people don't share shit with you. And you always blame others for not being fit and successful. Real men take real responsibility for their lives. Real men understand that God is not gonna throw a big bag of cash one day from the sky. Real men know that the reason why they're fucking 6s and 7s instead of 9s and 10s is that they were fat, smelly, and broke, skinny, wimpy, and cowardly. Real men understand that they feel fear just as the next guy, but they refuse to let fear control them. They storm at every challenge, embracing the pain with a burning desire for greatness while calculating the risks and rewards so that they make sure they end up victorious. Truth 7. You fear failure. I'm sure you tell this to yourself all the time. What if I lose? What if they all laugh? What if I make myself look like a fool? What if I am wasting my life fighting for something that will never happen? What if I get really sick from all this stress? What if I lose what I have, fighting for what I want to have? And the list goes on and on. Well, keep listening to that bullshit you tell yourself and see where it is gonna take you. To identify these fears and conquer them, I highly suggest you read the book Outwitting the Devil, where this famous writer claims to have had a real conversation with the devil, where he told him every tool that he uses to make mankind like sheep, always unhappy and always scared. When the writer asked the devil, why is he sharing all this with them? The devil said that he would never get the courage to publish this book, and so it happened. The only copy of the book was found by a student of this writer, long after the writer and his wife died. If you don't have time to read the book, you can read the short summary on our website. Both of the links are down in the description and also pinned in the comments. You gotta understand that failure is only a stepping stone to success, and luck only favors the bold. People who give in to their fears always end up losing everything. That is, if they even get anything in the first place. These truths are harsh, but they're the foundation of becoming a true man. Face them, embrace them, and start your transformation today. Are you ready to become the man you're meant to be? Manhood isn't a destination, it's a journey, and it starts now. We make sure every guy gets the right tools and the right information to become the best version of themselves. From free informative YouTube videos on how to get girls, money, a strong body, strong mind, power, respect, and the tools needed to create that transformation, such as gear and supplements. We are more than a channel, more than an all-in-one self-improvement website. We are the flaming light shining the way for the youth against the traps of the Matrix. We are
This is where we hold them!
Triumphus Academy.
This is where we fight! This is where they die! And these shields boys!
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever.
There is no tomorrow! There is no tomorrow!
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.